Alright, today we're going to talk about something really cool, and that is the idea of stamping on fabric. So I've got this kind of a napkin rag kind of thing here, but think of using diapers, very delicate cloths, and I suggest that you stick to your basic cottons and polyesters, but the kind of cloths that you can give to somebody as a gift, even say a onesie, you can actually stamp on these things. And I've got a really quick video today talking about using the jumbo and the standard roller stamps to do that, to make it super easy. So I'm going to take this apart because there's 3 parts to every roller. So there's the roller. There's also, the cartridge, and there's the handle. So when you buy the stamping around handle, you only have to buy it once. So once for the standard size, and again if you want the jumbo handle too. The thing that I love about the jumbo handle is it works really well with large surfaces. So when I'm making wrapping, I could make my own wrapping paper just by buying white paper and then rollering a design on it. I like to use the jumbo because it's big and so it covers the surface better. But when it comes to stamping on smaller items like this cloth, I will use the smaller or the standard one. So you only buy the handle once. Then when you buy the different roller designs, okay, it's just, you'll notice in the back of the catalog, and I'll point out the numbers, the number of the page for you. You can pick out a variety of these designs that are available on these cartridges. Then you want to buy the uninked cartridge. So depending on whether you have the standard or the jumbo, get the cartridge to match the size of the handle, but get it uninked. And the reason is because you want to use craft re-inkers to ink this. So when you're using this on cloth, you have to use craft re-inkers and not the classic ones. Because the classic ones, basically you're going to put them down and they're going to bleed. So you need to use the craft re-inkers. So get an uninked cartridge and then pick your colors of craft re-inkers in order to stamp your cloth. So now I'm going to put the whole thing together. So I'm going to put the cartridge in first, and what you'll notice is that there's a little hole on it. You can just take that and you'll see that when you go inside, so you have this thing sticking up and then you have the hole pointing in. When you go inside to your handle, you'll see there's a little thing pointing out. So then you just push this so that that thing pointing out goes into the hole, and you should hear it snap basically. You heard it? And then you put your design on. So I'm just going to snap that in. And it may or may not matter which way you turn it. So you're going to try this on paper first so that you'll know which way you like it. And then I'm going to push that in so it snaps. Now when I push that in, this is actually going to push itself up a little bit. I'm going to pull it the rest of the way out. When I pull this little door out, now the ink can touch the rolling device. So I'm actually going to push my little cartridge handle so that it goes forward and it'll touch the roller. And now I'm going to get on my paper and kind of see what this looks like. Okay, so I might have to roll a little bit to get the ink going. You see how beautiful that is? Okay, so this is craft, and so it dries slowly. So I'm going to move that out of the way. I don't want it under my paper. Let me show you how this works. I'm going to take a cloth and I'm going to lay it down on the surface of my scrap paper. And let's try to get a piece of this. So this is kind of a rag that I'm showing you on. But you'd want to get it to the point where, you know, it's correctly laid on the right side. So you'd look and make sure your hem is on the back and stuff. And then you make sure you get this started. It's really important that you get it started. After you get it started, you lay it right where you want it to begin on the cloth, and using the hem of the cloth, I'm just going to move this, and I'm actually moving fairly slowly. The reason is because I'll have more control over the edge as I move it, and I give the ink a little bit of time to soak into that surface. Okay, so I went off the screen. I'm going to come back. You want to do this in one line if you can, but I stopped, and I'm actually going to be brave enough to start and continue. And so I'm just running this, and I'm moving slowly across the hem of the cloth. And basically, it's gorgeous. I mean, that's how easy it is to add a design to a simple rag for use. What's really cool about this is I can further color this. So I've chosen a color that I like, but the same re-inker that I used in order to ink my cartridge, I can also use with a paintbrush. Alright, so what I'm going to use actually is a little tool that I have that enables me to have, I'm just putting my ink down on a surface that doesn't stick, so you could use an ice tray for instance. I'm going to put this little blender pen type thing down, and I can actually go in here and add colorful detail to the stamping that I did. So I'm just adding a little bit of Regal Rose to the center of this design. So this one got a little messed up, but I think it's okay. This is where I started again. That's fine. And I'm just going to go across and add the Regal Rose directly to the cloth. The reason I'm using this tool is because it has a very fine point. So you can use whatever brush, whatever tool you feel comfortable with. And I suggest you practice on a rag first. So basically there's my color. I added color to the chocolate chip flowers, and now they have a Regal Rose accent. And of course you can literally do more than that. I mean, I just did that much color, but if I wanted to do more I could. So I can come in here and I can add other little dots of the pink right onto the cloth to give it even more pop. So what I do is I pick a color of craft that I want to use as my base for rolling. I don't try to mix that up. And then after I've rolled it down, I'll go back in and accent it with a pop of color that also matches the room, or whatever I'm trying to match. And actually guys, I think this is the video is over, that's it. But see how easy you can add detail to cloth. Think of onesies, think of napkins, buy cheap napkins, make them look awesome. Think of t-shirts. I mean, anything that you can roll a design across, you can roll a design across. So enjoy it, and thanks for coming in today. Just one more thing. To disassemble your roller wheel, first take out the piece with the rubber on it, the round wheel. Then put the door back on the cartridge, so snap it back into place so that you don't get ink all over you. And then push the cartridge forward, which will enable you to pull it out. At that point, store your cartridge in a safe, dry place, and wash your wheel and your wheel handle with a standard, like a Huggies baby wipe. It'll be real easy to clean that way. Thank you. Have a good night.